Hey, it's PhilzGoodMan. I got a ton of requests to do a setup tour and I finally got around to doing it. So let me introduce you to my setup. This is my PC and this is my fiance's PC. She's behind the camera right now, but it's a gaming and workspace. I've definitely nerded out over hardware over the past several years, so I'll be giving you guys the full overview of the setup. I'll be including Amazon affiliate links of the products featured in this video in the description, and that will help support my channel. And I'm also going to include a few links of lower budget recommendations. That's because for the products in my setup, some of them are more cost effective while others have prices that are more absurd. But I don't think that you necessarily need to spend a whole lot to get a similar result. I tend to nerd out on certain categories more than others as well, and also been in the workplace for a while. But with Krunker, I know that people play on a really wide range of hardware, and I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea that they think that they have to spend more money. This is my gaming PC. Built it like 5 years ago. Of course, that's never the end of a PC build. So I just replaced parts as time went on. Let's start with the CPU. CPU is i7-5960X, 3 gigahertz. One of these workstation class CPUs, and I had a coworker, his mom worked at Intel and had a really good deal on Intel CPU. So of course I went for the most expensive one because I was getting 50% off. So turned out to be a good decision because it really lasted me a long time. It's cooled by the NZXT liquid cooler with 280 millimeter radiator. The motherboard is the ASUS Sabertooth X99, and these are really intended for long-term PC builds. Fun fact, one of my former employers is ASUS. It was awesome working there, and then I've also worked at Razer. Now I work from home, but got some good deals on like refurbished stuff in the past. But I don't recommend building an X99 PC in 2020 just because of weird like Windows 10 compatibility issues. Moving on to the GPU. So this is the ROG Strix NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080. That was a huge upgrade for me, but of course as like PC builders, like we're never fully satisfied. So I added a liquid cooler to the GPU this year, especially when I was playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone. You might notice that piece of foam that's propping up the liquid cooler, and that's literally because I could not get a screw off of the GPU and I was worried that I was going to break it. It makes perfect contact now, and I get temps in like the 30s. Before I was getting like 58 degrees Celsius, but now I get consistently like 34 to 39 degrees Celsius under load. I got a few PCIe SSDs. The original PCIe SSD I bought was Samsung 950 Pro 512 gigabyte. So that's the PCIe NVMe SSD. Looks like a little stick of gum. This year I was running out of storage on the OS drive. So what I did was I added a Evo Plus, and then power supply, Corsair 750 watt. And not much to say about this one. What else? The RAM, got it for the style. Corsair Dominator Platinum's DDR4 memory, and they're running at 2666 megahertz. So that's my gaming PC. Next up, got the monitor. Got this monitor this year, and it's VG259QM. Probably been waiting like 2 years for a monitor like this one. The benefit is that it's 280 hertz refresh rate, and it's also an IPS monitor, so it's got those good viewing angles. Was rocking the VG248QEs before that, so the 144 hertz TN panels from ASUS. And then I gave those to Annie. I really like the monitor so far. The 240 hertz is not as big of a like jump from 144 hertz as I thought it would be. I actually think that the bigger benefit comes from some other features that I didn't expect. So IPS is really nice when I'm doing like photo editing, but there's also the low motion blur technology as well, which is really good for a game like Krunker. So I do have those low motion blur settings turned on. Moving on to the camera setup. So as you can see here, I got it rigged up to a mirror because I want to show you guys what the camera setup looks like. Replaced my webcam with the Sony a6100. So a6100 is basically like the upgraded version, or rather like the newer version of the a6000. So it just has some more modern features to it. It's really good value. I wouldn't buy the kit lens. I am using the 21mm prime, and it's working out great. It's like perfect focal length. If you guys are wondering like what this felt is on the monitor, I made like a monitor hat because just to reduce the overhead glare. But yeah, this webcam setup's really amazing. It's not only good for like gaming and doing these videos, but even just going on Zoom or like webcamming with someone. If you have a camera like this and something like the Elgato HD60S, highly recommend using a mic stand. I was trying to figure out how to rig it up, but I did have a mic stand, so I just bought some adapters on Amazon, and now I have like a really cool like pan tilt system. Now let's talk mouse and keyboard. So for the mouse, it's Finalmouse Ultralight 2, and I got this mouse because I figured that if I didn't like it, I could give it away when it did drop, but then I ended up really liking it after a while. Before that, I was using a Zowie S2 that I modded for like making it lighter, but you know, I kind of gripped the mouse weird because I kind of wrap my finger around the entire mouse, but that allows me to pull down more easily. So I've become accustomed to the Ultralight 2, and I'm really enjoying it now. As for the keyboard, I'm very particular about keyboards. For the past like 4 years, I've been really into low profile mechanical keyboards because I think a lot of people get mechanical keyboards just because it's like the thing to do, but they're not really ergonomic, and you definitely have to use a wrist rest. At least I would if I'm using like the standard full height keycaps, but even low profile keycaps don't really do the trick for me. So then I discovered low profile mechanical keyboards like the SteelSeries QS1 switches or the Cherry ML switches or these Kale Chalk switches. And I really like the feel of the Kale Chalk switch. I think the click even sounds better than like Cherry Blues. Also, you may have noticed that I removed a bunch of keycaps. That's just so I don't misclick as easily. And I put a little piece of tape to cover up the light just a bit. And then I did go with a small form factor keyboard, 68 key keyboard. Previously, I had the Habit 10 keyless version of this keyboard. It's made by the same manufacturer, comes out of the same factory, but the brand is different. So this one's called the Dare U EK820 68 key. And if you're looking for the 68 key, make sure like double confirm that you're getting it, because they also make a 10 keyless version. And I had to get it through Taobao/Tmall using like, it was kind of hard to get. So if you're cool with a 10 keyless, just get the Habit 10 keyless one, because you can get that on Amazon for pretty cheap. This one is cheap too. It's like $60 or $70. And even with like the shipping and everything, I think it came out just like $80. And it's just an amazing keyboard. Now I'll be talking about my audio gear. And this is definitely the category that I tend to splurge on the most. I think the rest of my setup is very much a luxury, but the audio gear gets a lot closer to what you could call insane. The thing that's probably most apparent is going to be this guy right here, this unit. So this is the RME ADI2 Pro. And what this is essentially a sound card. Or you could call it an audio interface. Or you can call it a digital to analog converter, and an analog to digital converter. Plays back super high quality audio, it records super high quality audio. So basically it just does everything. It has dual headphone outputs, simultaneous speaker outputs, really good screen. You could see the spectrum analyzer, extremely useful, extremely expensive. It's called, again, RME ADI2 Pro. Not recommended if you're just using it for basic tasks. For me, it's 100% worth it. Right below it is DBX286S. It's a mic preamp, but also has some effects that I can apply to my voice. Part of the reason I have this is because the ADI2 Pro, it does not have a mic preamp built in. So that's another reason why I wouldn't recommend it for doing a simple setup. The best part about this is definitely the expander/gate. So let's say Annie's typing in the background, or the computer's making a lot of noise. I can turn this up and it really cuts out all the background noise, but if you turn it up too much, it sounds really unnatural. So I'll show you what it looks like with the settings turned off. And now I'm sure you can hear all that sound in the background, but it's really useful having this level of control like on a physical unit. And this unit that you see here is like a custom rack mount unit that I got from Etsy, from some seller in Canada. Just kind of puts everything together and it makes a nice monitor stand. Going beyond that, talk headphones. These are in-ear monitors, also known as IEMs. And I used to be really into IEMs, especially like when I was working and commuting. like taking the train to work. The best part is that they're really good at blocking out sound, and they're also extremely comfortable. So it fits your ear perfectly. And I really don't like full-size headphones. I've tried them before. It doesn't feel good to have all that weight on your head. So I was using IEMs for the most part. These are both by the same company. The company is called Advanced Acoustic Works, based in Singapore. And the reason I chose them is because I was going to Singapore for a friend's wedding, and then I wanted to find a manufacturer that does ear impressions themselves. And AAW was one of them, and they're pretty reputable. So I got the first pair done maybe 3 years ago. This is the AAW A2H Pro, and this is the AAW W500. Don't really use them often now because obviously with COVID, we're staying inside a lot more. So I don't really need the sound blocking as much. And I discovered an in-ear monitor that actually delivers really similar performance or even better performance than a full-size headphone. These are the headphones that I'm using right now. These are my main headphones, my go-to. And they're made by a company called Audeze. They're based in California. They're known for their planar magnetic headphones, which is a certain type of driver technology. And they make these portable IEMs. They may look really strange, but they deliver better sound quality than anything I've heard. And I've heard plenty of good full-size headphones as well, including ones by Audeze. But the best part is there's really like no weight at all when you're wearing them because of the ear hooks. But they sound better than full-size headphones, even Audeze full-size headphones. I think that they sound better than, at least to me. A lot of this is subjective. And then when I'm doing voiceover, I can hear myself. So I don't need to keep on taking my headphones on and off. Less expensive pair, which is made by Audeze as well. So this is known as the Audeze iSign LX, and it's like $150. Whereas this one, I got it for a good deal. I got it for $600 refurbished, but they usually go for $899. But I can't recommend these headphones enough. I mean, like whether it's the iSign series or the i3 or the i4, they're all excellent, and there's absolutely nothing like it on the market. Not sponsored. The speakers that you see here, to be honest, I don't use them that much, but they're pretty solid studio monitors, and they're made by M Audio. It's CX3. They're anywhere from 8 to 10 years old. Still sound great. I know that the positioning is not ideal though. And then the mic, which I get a ton of questions about, is the Shure CVG-D12. This is a strange mic choice. It's not common in the gaming world, but again, like with the headphones, I didn't want to go with something bulky. I think it's so unnecessary. You can get a really good sound from a small mic. So these are known as like lectern mics or conference mics. It's for like churches or for like the G8 summit at the UN. That just about concludes my setup tour. I wasn't able to cover 100% of it, but I got most of it. The setup is extremely important to me because it's not only where I make Krunker videos for YouTube, but also how I make a living doing work from home. I know that some of the choices in the setup are a bit unconventional, but I've also probably wasted a lot more time than most people as well thinking about these things. Anyways, thanks to anyone who's made it this far in the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, whether you're into PC hardware or not. And also there's a new way to support the channel through the Amazon affiliate links. Also, Krunker Creator Code is philz, and a free way to support the channel is by subscribing if you haven't yet. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.